All right, we're going to jump right into it with no planning. Welcome to Nothing But Worry. It's me, Lance Ash, and I'm on the sofa again with my wife, Bonnie.
Hello.
And
You had a hell of a week, didn't you?
yeah, I had a rough week. Cold, busy.
Confrontational?
Yeah, my supervisor had a run-in with an Amazon driver, and the guy came in the building ranting and raving, wanting to pursue the matter further.
What was the matter?
Well, the matter was that the driver refused to bring his load into the building, and so my supervisor, got in a back and forth with him. So when the guy finished, by the time the guy finished unloading his truck, my supervisor had moved further into the building. So when he gets done, he comes in and...
Oh, so he did drop off the load.
Yeah, he dropped it off, but he didn't bring it into the building.
Asshole.
So, anyway, he comes in the building, just yelling and demanding to see my supervisor, and I ordered him off the property. He refused to leave. I said, okay, you're trespassing now, and I'm calling the police. Well, you go ahead and call the police. I'm not afraid of the police. Okay. So I call 911, and while I'm on the phone with them, he is walking around taking pictures of everybody and everything with his phone. Anyway, he finally left. I'm thinking about, I was too lazy to call or figure out what the Amazon warehouse phone number was. I should have called them and reported him. So anyway, that happened, and just a bunch of shit. I'm just, the job is horrible, but at least I'm not making that horrible commute, that hour and some minutes commute every night.
Yeah, because then you'd have a horrible job plus the commute. The job would be still just as shitty.
Yeah, and from what I understand, they've made the building where I used to work even worse. Jesus. So, it's all part of Trump and Musk plan for increased profit and efficiency.
Are we going to talk about that?
I really don't want to, because there's nothing we can do, and
we don't want you to lose your job.
I have decided to... Well, first of all, I've stopped commenting on YouTube videos, and I've stopped reading the comments too. I'm teaching myself, when you're watching a video, don't scroll down to the comments. Don't do it, because then you'll be tempted to reply to somebody or make your own comment. So I'm paring back how much engagement I have online. I still have no other place to present my artwork to the world other than my blog and my YouTube channel. So I'm going to continue to do that, but I am going to... And you can consider YouTube social media if you want, but I've never been involved with social media. I've never been involved with Facebook or Twitter or any of that other shit. I don't care about that.
It should be noted that I ran your Instagram account for you. I posted the stuff for you. When it came to comments, I would say, such and such person has commented. Do you want to reply? What do you want to say? So, if somebody were to get in touch with you there, then you would reply. But I was the one that was constantly posting the stuff. And then Instagram shut that down because I guess it was too much self-promotion without you paying them some sort of fee or something. We don't know.
Yeah, and there's no way to resolve the issue. I've tried.
The account's been officially closed now.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. Well, anyway, I don't.
You were talking about the information that TikTok was gleaning from Americans. If you have Instagram on your phone, they have a comparable amount of access to your information. So it's a good thing that you're not on it anymore. Because you would have to put on a new account with with a phone. You can't do it on your desktop anymore.
Yeah, I have nothing to do with my phone. I have a phone just for emergencies, so I have to call somebody. I don't leave it turned on. We had the same yesterday at work. Same night we had the run-in with the Amazon guy. I had another Amazon. No, there wasn't an Amazon. It was a regular postal worker. It was a younger guy, short, little, skinny, younger guy, and he refused to put his phone down. He is trying to unload the truck with one hand because the other hand is occupied.
He worked for the post office, or was he one of the?
He worked for the post office, but he wasn't a uniform driver, which means he's a contract driver.
Oh God!
But
Somebody need to call him out on that. That's just stupid.
he was so addicted to the phone he couldn't take his eyes off of it. He had 3 full APCs of mail hooked together, and he's trying to yank them off the truck with one arm while staring at his phone with the other hand. And I walked out there and saw what he was doing, and I said, "Stop. I'll go get the machine and I'll pull it off. Just hold on." I couldn't believe it. I mean,
You should have reported him to the dock manager. I mean, if he would have ended up having an injury, he could have filed something, workers' comp or something, right?
perhaps.
What?
I don't care if he yanks his arm out of his socket. This whole addiction to phones that everybody has is unbelievable to me. This need to stay in, because people have never, the average person has never had much inner life to begin with. But now people are, their ability to access their inner thoughts is becoming atrophied. And
You're right.
it's just getting worse and worse. And so when AI takes over, it'll be easy to do. They'll take the fortress without a shot being fired.
I don't see it so much as AI taking over and the Matrix and all that kind of stuff. What I see is business and billionaires taking over more than they already have.
They're using
this to deaden our minds so that we can't think for ourselves. All we want are the bread and circuses. Just entertain us, make us feel happy, and give us all these cute little sayings, and we're going to believe whatever you say. We're not going to go past the headline.
And I'll tell you something else. I thought of this at work last night. What it's coming down to is the enslavement of everybody. You will be effectively a slave. But in addition to that, they're going to take your identity away. And you will pay to have the right to your own name and your own identity. And the payment will be absolute obedience. And not just obedience, but praising and glorification and worship of the masters. But it's too depressing, and the thing is, I don't know. All right, let's talk about something happier. Our son is getting a new job, which means he'll be making more money. He'll also be exhausted because it's 10 hours a day, 4 days a week. And
and a rotating schedule at that. I mean, it's going to be the same hours. He's going to work from 9 until 7 every night. But he's going to have different days off each week. And there's no guarantee that he's even going to have 2 days off in a row. And he's going to have weekends where he basically has to work during the weekends, either all the weekend or some of the weekend.
Is he going to, so he'll be having an hour lunch?
No, I think it's 30 minutes.
Okay, so it's not.
I'm not sure exactly.
Okay.
He'll find out later this month. He goes in for orientation.
Is he worried?
Yes and no, but I've made it quite clear that he's got to do this. We had to pick up over half of his bill for his health insurance last month, and the month before we had to pay his car insurance to the tune of, was it $1,200? Christ. And $200 last month, and we can't keep doing this. We don't have the money for this. And his boss completely understands why he's leaving. They won't give him extra hours. He's like, I can't wait to go in and tell them I've lost a guy because they won't pay, and this was a good employee, and because they won't increase his hours, and they don't have benefits, and he can go in and get paid more for doing less, even if the hours are shitty, you know.
Let's see, what else? I had an interesting day. I drove out to Commerce, Georgia, which is about 45 minutes away. Haven't been out that way in a while. And the funny thing is, I had to sort of feel my way. I used to go out there all the time because where Commerce meets 85 used to be this big, what would you call it?
Yeah.
Well, it was outlet malls.
Yeah.
Where when outlet malls first started, they were factory rejects, and you could get good deals. You know, the sweater has a minor flaw in it, but that quickly went away, and it became just regular shopping centers. Anyway, I used to go out there all the time, but there's a used bookstore out there I wanted to check out to see if they had anything, and they had. I was looking specifically for French books, and they had some. Nothing. They didn't have any French children's books, which is what I really wanted. But I got some Inspector Maigret books. Maigret. But it was neat going through town because a lot of things had changed. They done away with some of the landmarks I used to negotiate by.
You went through town?
Yeah, I went through downtown and then turned at
You
the.
didn't just go the perimeter around it. Why'd you opt to go through town?
What are you talking about? Well, I went to the library first.
Oh, okay, all right.
But there used to be, there's the main road through Commerce, and you turn to the right to go down towards the outlet malls, down towards 85. And right there on either side of the road used to be different buildings. There was an old hotel there and something else. Those things were gone, and one of them been replaced by Walgreens on one side and I think an auto parts store on the other. And I remember thinking, I know this is the right road because the road feels right. The curve of the road is the same as it was. So even though those landmarks aren't there anymore, yeah, you're right. What was it? It was called the Pottery or the Pottery Barn. That place.
Just the Pottery.
And they had all kinds of crap in there. That's the kind of thing that women like. You know, fake flowers and what else did they have in there?
Pottery.
Yeah, but it was not. It was like cheap pottery, right? Like flower pots and stuff.
It was all kinds of things. You can find dishes and Christmas crap and homemade jams and jellies, and there was a wine sampling area from one of the vineyards.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was just an eclectic mess of things.
The bookstore I went to is on the right side of the road. The outlet mall thing was on either side. And it's basically where the Black & Decker store used to be. But on the other side of the road, there used to be a remaindered bookstore that I used to go to all the time down in there.
Not there anymore?
No, God, no. There was all kinds of stuff down in there a long time ago.
We used to get my shoes there, Rockport shoes.
That's right, yeah.
I haven't bought Rockports in years now. That's all I ever wore when I was in college. I called my dad, like, I've just run through another pair.
From what I could gather, the J&J flea market is gone.
J&J's gone?
Yeah, it hasn't been called the J&J in a long time,
Yeah, the Reynolds sold it out a long time
but
ago.
it had a sign up saying property for sale. And it said the hours, the old hours were listed, and it was supposed to be open, but it was all, there was nobody there. When that place was open back in the heyday, early '90s, there would be thousands of cars parked down there. It was only open on the weekends. And
It busted a couple years ago. It was in the Athens paper. They went in and started doing checks of appliances and stuff, and they found stolen shit being sold out of some of the stalls down there. And these were stalls that had like multiple appliances in them. So it looked like they were, back of the truck kind of thieves and that sort of thing.
well, years ago when the kids were little, we went over there, and I had a chance to buy a Japanese pressing of my favorite Led Zeppelin album on LP, which is Presence, for $6, and I was so cheap I didn't want to spend $6, and I've been kicking myself ever since.
As well, you should. But then
Yeah.
again, I kick myself every time I pull out that big silver pot in there. We went to Goodwill in Winder, and we really were truly broke at the time. And I begged you, can we please get this pot? It's $11. I know that's a lot, but I don't have a giant soup pot, and there were all these other ones in the set. And it was the best damn pot I've ever had. And I wish we could have gotten all the others, because they're such good quality stainless steel, tri-ply, just amazing.
That Goodwill in Winder, years ago, we went up there, and they had, in the CDs, they had Dan Fogelberg's Greatest Hits, which I don't give a shit about. But and when we got home, I thought, you know what, that would have made a great present for my dad's birthday, because he likes Dan Fogelberg. So the next day, I went back up there solo, and I discovered that all these LPs by Oregon, which I had never heard of before.
They are fabulous.
And it was like 12 LPs. And so just total serendipity.
How would you describe them?
They're, well, they were one of the pioneers of mixing jazz with world music. And they were basically an acoustic jazz ensemble, but instead of having a drummer, they had a guy who played tabla and sitar. And he was killed in a car crash in the early 80s, and they replaced him with a regular drummer, and they kind of lost their distinctive sound. But it's very mellow, atmospheric music.
Zero vocals.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's important to us when it comes to jazz.
if it's a vocalist like Sarah Vaughan or Blossom Deer or something, then you know it's a vocalist. But if you're going to listen to an album, by, I don't know, say Miles Davis or Sonny Rollins or something, you don't expect a vocal to be thrown in there.
How about that type of 70s jazz meets kind of R&B, Grover Washington Jr.? Isn't he mostly...
His biggest hit was a duet with Bill Withers called The Two of Us, and they used to play that song on Magic 102 all the time, and I hate it.
But didn't he usually do instrumental stuff?
Yeah, he was all instrumental, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But every once in a while we'll get out one of those albums or somebody of his type. I don't even know what that style of music's called.
I think originally it was called soul jazz, or maybe it's an extension of soul jazz.
Yeah, we'll be listening to the album. It'll be so good. And then all of a sudden, one of the songs will have somebody moaning along to it. And you're like, shut up, you're ruining it.
Yeah, I hate that song, The Two of Us. it's just the most vacuous pablum.
Great. Now I have that earworm. Thanks a
Oh, you know
lot.
the song?
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible. And the funny thing is, I've been listening to some of Joni Mitchell's 80s albums this week,
Yep.
and they're, for the most part, they're horrible. And you would think that somebody as intelligent as her would realize that
Shut up already.
electronic drums and this synthesized tinsel added on top of the music is just mediocrity defined. And it's just, yeah, it's weak. But one of those records is Night Ride Home, and the song Night Ride Home is really good. But like Dog Eat Dog and Chalkmark in a Rainstorm, they're just, ugh. That all started with Wild Things Run Fast, which some of that record I like.
Dude, I've never been a Joni Mitchell fan, and I don't know if it's because I don't like her music, or if it's the fact that you swooned over her so much for a while. And I was like, why? Why? You know, Stephanie was over last weekend, and she had the same reaction. Why? Why did you guys swoon over her?
She said that she thought she had good bone structure, but she wasn't pretty. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're nuts, because she was drop dead gorgeous.
No. She had good cheekbones, but she had that Andrew Wyeth artist muse kind of look.
No.
I'm sorry.
She was gorgeous.
Washed out, and she was oversunned. It just
No,
no,
she was
no,
intelligent. She could paint. She could play the guitar. She could sing. She loved sex. And,
but then she goes and gives up a kid when it's a toddler.
Well,
And
she
you're like,
was.
What the fuck, man?
Well, she was young when that happened, and she just felt like she was going to be a shitty mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. No.
Oh. I love all that 70s fusion of jazz and rock. Oh my God, I wish I could wake up.
You want to take a moment and go get some tea?
Let me see how long it's been sitting. Yeah. I'm gonna pause this. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back.
Yay, warm tea.
I like it. I like it cold or warm, but I don't like it hot. I can't stand to drink. Burn my tongue. I don't understand how people in England drink.
Boiling hot.
You watch some TV show or movie set in Britain, and they pour the water into the tea and drink it immediately. How do you do
I
that?
don't know. They don't even allow it to steep properly.
And another thing, there's a thing where they add the milk at the same time. Well, first of all, doesn't that curdle the milk?
Yeah.
And second of all, I don't like milk in the tea because I like to feel, because it neutralizes the acid in the tea, and I want to. It's like a double thing for me. You get the burst of caffeine, but you also get the tannic acid, which gives your stomach this feeling like, yeah, we're doing something. We're
We're rotting your gut out.
No, it's good for you.
Yeah, I like the whole coating of. I use an oat milk now, and I cannot handle the harshness of tea. Herbals, I'm fine with, you know. Bree came over today.
Our daughter came over. I missed her. I was
You
asleep.
know, again, by about 30 minutes. She stayed over a long time, like 3 or 4 hours. And she and I had the best conversations. And she's got somebody in her life that just loves her to pieces, and she loves him. And they were discussing the political situation. And he said, if we have to leave, I'm getting you, my mom, and my cat, and your cat, and we're leaving. And if we're not married, we're going to go and get married immediately. He's got one of those high demand jobs, so he could go and work anywhere around the world. And he's a business intelligence analyst. And then his mother is some kind of financial something or another, so she's also marketable. And Reed is not at that point. She couldn't get a work visa. She's going to have to increase her knowledge in her field before she becomes marketable internationally. So it just made me feel so good that they're talking in terms of, long term, and they've talked, oh God, from the first month they met, he said, "You're wife material."
Well, I knew that about you by the second date.
And
Bonnie moved in with me on the second date.
yes, it did. Uh, yeah.
A month later, we were married, and a month after that, we were pregnant with a child.
Yeah.
We had our daughter before we reached our first anniversary of marriage.
Yeah, that's true. In March, and we got married in May. But it was nice having her over. But oh, I felt so bad for her. She's so tired. She just is run ragged at the hospital. She's on her feet all day long. And she's in and out. And she said they had a security alert at the hospital this week. They have a bolo up inside the private areas. One of the employees was threatened. She got the impression that it happened off campus and that the like restraining order kind of thing. But they've had pictures up with the guy and warned that he may be trying to pass himself off as a hospital staffer, and it was involved a gun and things, and all it did was make me worry because suddenly both my babies are going to be working at the hospital together.
I have noticed for a couple years now that as I've gotten older, when I was a kid, I was very timid and very chicken shit. And but as I've gotten older, I've gotten to where I have no problem telling somebody to fuck off. Like that guy that came in the building, I just flat out told him, "You're going to leave right now."
And then last weekend, you told that one guy, "What the hell are you doing in our yard?"
Yeah. But also, it's more than that. I have this gray beard now, and people treat me differently. They see me, and they recognize, well, this is an older guy, and they either defer to me or they pay me more respect than I've ever gotten before.
I was down at your mother's and father's house a number of years ago, and your dad wasn't there, but your mom was. And all of a sudden, gunshots just start going crazy. And I go out to the garage and identify where it's coming from. And I look down across the field, and there are these guys at the end of their fucking property, where the gazebo used to be. And they're down there, and they're shooting. And they're all facing away from me. I went down there without a moment's hesitation. "What the hell are you doing down here? You are trespassing on private property." These guys were standing there with rifles.
You talk about
They had treed a raccoon and were chasing it down.
Are you talking about where the gazebo was originally?
Yeah.
I see something right over the fence, over on the neighbor's property. There's where the creek runs. There's some big rocks there, and the creek runs over these rocks. Long time ago.
That's a nice area.
Yeah, we used to have picnics down there all the time. When I was a kid, we used to play down there all the time. But Jonathan Langley came to visit me, and he brought along this little gold statue that he'd gotten from the King Tut touring exhibit back in, must have been 76 when that happened, 76, 77.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
And he lost it down there in those
no.
rocks, and I've always wanted to find it again. It's probably been washed to the ocean by this point, but and go find him in Kentucky and present it to him. Hi, remember this?
Chiropractor in Kentucky. Jesus. What the hell was he thinking? He used to be cool, and then he becomes a chiropractor.
People,
What a shyster.
there's
Crypto.
anybody that
Fall for shit all the
anybody
time.
can be sucked in by any theory or philosophy or religion, you know. I got something we can do. I know this might be fun. I'm going to go get my bag of CDs and tell you what I've been listening to lately.
Okay.
This is what David Letterman used to call celebrity time killers. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me get my glasses on. I forgot I'd had this. I pulled this out the other day. This is the Red Hot Chili Peppers One Hot Minute album, which has got Aeroplane on it, which is a really good song.
Yeah, that is actually. Yeah.
Joni Mitchell, Chalk Marker in a Rainstorm,
Yeah.
which electronic drums. Here's a great record. Built to Spill, You in Reverse. This is a great record. I saw this at Goodwill years ago and got it because I knew the name, and the artwork on the cover is amazing.
Where's the artwork?
That's that artist.
Oh, yeah.
That's that artist that is very, very secretive and picky. Won't let his artwork be. There's none of his artwork is on Pinterest.
Once again, the writing is so small you can't read
Yeah, it's
what the
irritating.
damn tracks are.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that, 4-point font?
This is a German rap band called Die Fantastischen Vier.
Oh, yeah.
They're
They're
the-
good
the-
and they're fun.
Yeah. And the name of the album is Viergewind, which is the German version of Connect Four. This is Rammstein's self-titled album, which is a great record. This is Joni Mitchell, Night Ride Home.
Does that have the Man and Man?
No, that's
What's on that one?
Auslander, Deutschland, Radio, Tattoo. There's so many great songs on this record. What?
This is their self-titled album? Mm-hmm. Aren't those usually your first album?
Not always, no.
Oh.
Yeah, Cheap Trick's got 2 self-titled albums. Duran Duran's got 2 self-titled albums. Those
are great songs.
Yeah,
That video for Radio,
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Sexy as hell, funny. It's just,
Yeah,
man, it's good.
All right, this is Throwing Muse's Limbo, which is okay. This is Stereolab, Cobra, and Phases Group Play Voltage in the Milky Night, which is a great record. This is Black Sabbath's Never Say Die, which was the last album they did with Ozzy until 13.
Oh, 13 was awesome.
The thing is, the last 2 albums they did with Ozzy before they kicked him out of the band, these 2 albums are shit on by everybody, but they're way better than people realize. This is Ricky Lee Jones' Flying Cowboys, produced by Walter Becker. And
Steely Dan?
Yeah, my in-laws have had this for a year maybe.
More.
And I just realized the other day, hey, I never got that back. And they looked for it and they found it. And this last one.
Of course, they knew exactly where it was. You know my parents. Everything is organized.
And this is Modest Mouse, Good News for People Who Love Bad News. This is the one that has Float On it.
Oh, God, that's a great song.
Yeah, I listened to it in the car today on my way to Commerce, and I almost started crying.
Like, what, Talking Heads? Is it Talking Heads they sound like?
Not to me, no, not at all.
The Save It Burns group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they sound like them.
Talking Heads, the whole point of Talking Heads was rhythm.
The
Different
first time
kinds
I
of
heard
rhythm.
Float On, I had no idea who it was, what it was. I'd never heard of it. I thought the Talking Heads had gotten back together when I heard that.
No. It's just one of those songs that makes you feel like, yeah, I can make it, I can do it, I can win through, I can deal with things. Like I said, Night Ride Home is pretty good, but outside of that, the rest of the record's kind of weak. Well, Cherokee Louise is pretty good, but this is from '91. God Almighty!
What? Let me see that. Oh, that.
Yeah, I got into Modest Mouse because their album, We Were Already Dead. I got that at Goodwill, and just interesting cover, So give it a shot. Great
You
record.
realize I haven't been to Goodwill in probably over a year. I just got to the point where I was so sick of them.
Well, the thing is, I'm trying not to spend any money, and if I go to Goodwill, I will spend money because they always have a couple of CDs I want, and I want to get some pale blue T-shirts and some gray T-shirts because I'm changing my color scheme from black over to light blue, Prussian blue, and gray with hints of navy blue. And
And we're doing that because I think you look incredible with blue. It brings out the beautiful blue in your eyes.
oh, well, thank you.
And I keep telling you that.
Yeah, sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I'll think, my God, what a shame that such a good-looking man is going bald.
Oh, God.
Oh, me. I have got to wake the hell up.
I got to go to sleep.
All right, we're going to call it quits so I can make this video and you can go to sleep.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Anything else to add?
All hail Elon. Praise be to Trump, the new God King. Will that keep your job? Will it keep your health insurance in place?
You wait till we get King Don II. Then you're really going to see some shit.
I think Barron might push him out.
It'll be like Succession or House of Cards. It'll be infighting, the Lion in Winter. All that. All right, that's it. Bye bye.
Bye.